KSM Show.
Hello, my name is Kofi Lane and I'm a radio presenter here on the KSM Show today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I must say, front of house, back of house, on set, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been funny, it's been engaging, and it's been exciting. We have some very interesting people working on this show, and I think it's, I'm not surprised it's been a success all these years. So, there's nothing better to do on a Friday evening but watch KSM, always.
We're hanging out with one of the most exciting radio presenters to listen to, and his name is Nana Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah. Nana, welcome back.
Thank you, Father.
Yeah, no, the viewers welcome back, but they say, well, I don't come back. but I'm enjoying everything you're saying, you know, and you know where I am in terms of age, you know, miles apart, you know. But what I'm enjoying is that you're saying things about the mindset, about colonization, and the reawakening, if you will, that you think needs to take place. And I remember way back, even younger than you, that spirit blew across Ghana for a while. I remember being in school back in the day. Then I was a member of a movement called the Student Movement for African Unity.
Right.
Smile, you know, talking like you're talking, you know. And here I am, you know, almost 64 years later, you know. Then I see a young guy like you also talking with that passion. Do you see a change coming? Do you see that all this talk you're making about reawakening people, conscientizing colonial mentality? It's a colonial mentality, you know. We don't even talk about these things. It's not part of our lingo anymore. How come you still believe in it, and what gives you the hope that one day, you know?
Father, I think what I seek to achieve is not to change Ghana overnight.
Okay.
But to change the mindset of just 5 people.
5 people.
And that 5 people will change the mindset of another 5 people. And that 5 people will change the mindset of another 5 people. Then one day, one of those 5 people that I changed might be lucky to become the leader of this country. I've said the problem of this country and the continent is leadership. If we are lucky to have leadership like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Kambarara Nyerere, Leopold Senghor, Francois Mmapa Tumbapi, and the rest, one day, then Africa and Ghana will awaken again. What is happening is that we've elected leadership who behaves like the slave masters for far too long. Leadership is far from the people. Now,
when you say it's far from the people, what does that suggest? That the leadership are not in link with the needs of the people, or that? Explain it.
They are not in sync with the people. They are behaving just as the slave masters were behaving. If you have leadership as a new or yaria or say or ko aya ayaresa e wo UK time wa eye Gotchisbeck Alambans eno omo ha na omo die so no omo kwa ayaresa na omo ko no he enye UK.
Yeah.
So leadership do not trust in the health system, but the people should enjoy the same health system. If you have leadership, when yesika na say obaso no yesika or to dan ya okoto no UK koto no Dubai. Time of Gotchisbeck Alambans and say Charles McCarthy mo no to dan no to no UK Dubai eto no US. So these are the new slave masters.
Okay.
So if you have leadership, as a neo to abamoma, instead of them to roll up their sleeves and get to the ground and work with the people, they become demigods and be sitting in V8 driving around, feeling themselves they are just like the slave masters. So Kwame Nkrumah once said, slavery may rear its head again, not necessarily from Europe. So we should be alert that when it rears itself, we will quash it down. Now, these are some of the things I want us to be aware of. And they, omampeni te maybe a watieno, what is a Gotchisbeck. One opportunity to serve omampeni ni behave to say time wana abofuno hono ye DC yisinu ano munya kwa no mweke no. Na wama yomu say all of a sudden yomu your demigods.
Yeah.
So I am saying we cannot continue to sit on the world 60% arable lands and import 110 billion worth of food. We cannot continue to sit on 33% of a year natural resources and do not decide anything. Now, watch what is happening. Okay, we are seeing now. You see, world bodies determine the price of certain things. Like natural resources, gold, your world body determine. Cocoa, your world body determine. Diamond, your world body determine. Bauxite, your world body determine. These are raw materials largely coming from Africa. It must set a world body determine. Neighbor, you the cocoa, near chocolate in you new world body determine the price of chocolate. Because I know the finished goods, and so more making money. Yeah, the bauxite neko making chance we are any world body determine the price of a yen chance. Yet to meet na continent we so a provide any Cote d'Ivoire be a world leading producer of cocoa. Near to me fresh Switzerland and say I want to hear the chocolate city. That is a leadership problem. So I am saying the leadership should stop this thing about globalization. IMF will say, World Bank will say, and get to the grounds and have homegrown policies to solve the problem of Africa. The problem of Africa is get to farming. Yet to we continue to elect leaders. We pride ourselves. This is an agrarian economy. Agrarian economy means a full the backbone of this country. How can we continue to elect leaders ne papa ono angasa ne say oniminate na about farming? And so many Afrifa Mado I mean the importance of farming. I understand the plight of the ordinary people. It is a because we are elected leaders or Motuna cantonment or free cantonment I know holiday or UK or free UK I know a better cantonment until the duoni swase. Now your leaders are too comfortable where they sit, so they don't think outside the box to find problems, solution for the problems of this continent. So now the people should get awakened, hold their leadership accountable for the leaders to get down, roll their sleeves and work with them. KSM educational system is a problem. You see the longest river in the river you perceive the importance of that river. It is a baby the bar. We will go back to state farms. Yen dredge 50 feet down, 50 feet wide. Yen tested soil on a river banks and on a dear na a bit to me a dear. Afi yenya sasi yan term farming. Let the youth your national service personnel sir. Every year be 100,000 youth to be trained in our office. Yes, send momo koto a year kokon and cut yourself for 1 year. Near 590. When in actual fact we could actually channel the energy of these youth into state farms for it to come back and feed the nation and export some years here and yet. So we need real leadership who will be concerned. No more IMF, World Bank, no we need real homegrown policies to solve the problem of this continent.
I'm sure there are many of my listeners who are not tree speaking who see your vibrant things and this, and you'll be missing with English, so they know, they have an idea of what you're talking about. Can you summarize everything I've said in English before I go to the next question? Just a quick summary.
I believe the solution to the problems of Africa is not with IMF, not with World Bank. I believe we just have to come home and do homegrown policies. One, if people get satisfied with food, they don't riot, they don't do anything. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. By so doing, we should do zone farming. We shouldn't do farming on a smaller scale. When we talk about Upper East, let's zone it, Upper East, Upper West. Which crop actually grows well in those areas? Then the government will go and dredge all the waters in those areas, test the soil, which crop to grow there. Let's go into full-scale farming for such crop. When we get to Ashanti region, we get to Eastern region, we do same, we replicate same. Now the youth who always come out of national service, 100,000 plus youth every year, shouldn't be sent to offices to go and buy coffee brokman near there. They now have to channel the energy of the youth into farming. Because if we are an agrarian economy, we must focus on building farming. The oil will get finished one day. The gold will get finished one day. But if we continue to farm, believe you me, one day we will feed the continent Africa and we will feed the world at large.
All right. And by the way, just You're called the youth president?
That is what the people say.
That's what that's what the people say.
That's what the people say.
Youth president.
Father.
Nana. I mean, these things you are saying are awesome. I mean, I am delighted to hear a young person like this exhibit such awareness in terms of mindset. It just thrills me. And I don't think it's a secret. That's why I wanted you to come on the show. I said, this guy is deep, man. Young guy, but deep. I want to talk to him. What do you think the problem is? As eloquent as you've been, it was like, but these things, this is what we should be doing. As you summarize, leadership. Don't the leaders see this? What could be happening? And if you, youth president, do you have any, before I get to my question, but do you have any thoughts, ambitions that one day you want to be in the leadership as president or in government? Do you have that?
Well, I knew this question was going to pop up. I don't aspire to be president of this country. Neither do I aspire to be anybody that the people will elect for, except that when it gets to a certain point and I believe they are not doing what I am telling them to do, then we can only shake a table that we have a seat at. So we are not going to leave this political space for them.
Okay.
With time, we will get there and work with them. Yes, say politics in there is a dirty game. It's not a dirty game. Just that we've allowed the dirty people to take the seat. And they are doing anything they like. And people are afraid to go there and correct it. So yes, at some point we will get there with them and work with them. Shake that table for the right things to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Having said that, I just want to just imagine yourself if you ever had the opportunity to lead. Or since you are not interested in that, what specific advice can you give leaders, African leaders, politicians, specific advice or things they should do immediately upon resumption of office? What are the 3 key things they should focus on and start working right away with? What would be your advice? 1,
they should change the educational curriculum.
Okay.
The educational curriculum now, your continent Africa, no? It only makes us non-thinkers.
Yes, thank
you. But rememberers of things.
Yes, yes.
So the people cannot think outside the box. I don't see how we should have an educational system where somebody will come out of school after how many years? From class 1 to university, more than 22 years, and still will sit home for 7 years looking for government to come and employ him. I will say this. The educational system sets us on unnecessary competition from class 1 to 4. Na me tell the first pa. Na me father sister me go school for. Then me go do one. We were 36 in the class. Me di 12. And I'm baba say one so wabon. Then the second term me be di 3rd.
Yeah.
With Peter Kinche Mensah and a Chamere. A Chamere first, Peter Kin second, 3rd. AMA. The next term, I came second. And in fact, for the next 2 years, a Chamere will not allow me to be first, as I have promised my father. So you see, right away, we set our children on the path of unnecessary competition instead of coming together with one common aim and unity to develop the nation. If you're on the road, KSM, now we use to coin a Ghana for. So, what son, oh, my, speed. Or speed.
Yeah,
me, when you overtaking Noah, can be Kura Bess and Koma, Kwama, Ushemono, or Bebo Amo, Dientia, or himself was son and what the first. Yes, so psychologically, our educational system set us on the path of unnecessary competition. We need to abolish that, do away with it. You're University, you and I know. You did first, you did second. Up to 500 and something. You have a blackboard, no so notice board.
Yeah.
Near a bebo. You have you did 500 and something. Right away, we've demoralized that person completely.
Yeah.
At that tender age, you see a kolana bon. It's a kolana intimenya on kanehun konipem. We need to do away with it. I watched one footage from Korea. And kolani high jump. Okay? And a car back. All of them had to come back, support that child by clapping for him.
Manihri.
And Manihri and son of. But in this continent and in this country, we don't do that. Yes, why the difference? Why so one our educational system we need to abolish it. Educational system where I collect me pass a Greek. I hear from a human yes a green economy. Educational system I collect me pass science. I collect me pass environmental studies, how to keep your environment clean. Yes, one pass Bruni Bicasa. It is our colonial conquest. We cannot continue to have the educational system.
That's deep.
So we have to do away with the educational system. Say behind your school, university me call your educational system be a yesia. You see Woodrow Wilson say, Max Weber say, Marxist theory say, why say. Let me say we Ghana and Africa.
That's right.
So all their philosophies they propounded it based on American structure, UK structure. Why then do we continue to have this in our educational system? And for that matter, the people can't relate with anything they are learning. So one, we have to do away with the educational system we have and come up with curriculum that reflects our society and building an African personality. Two, say a president, not say basic. If you don't know how to, Nana Akufo-Addo is doing very well with that bit where he does African wear and all that. My people who have demonized anything African, and in return they've given us what they believe is right for us. Under this scorching sun, then the pass see to pampe the try and me and a minute. Now Busana said, "Dear Hano, kwasi broni 2 months of sunshine and run when you answer what we are." So one, we have to get somebody. I'll bet me promote to say. Anything African is not bad. KSM in the African way is superb, it's fantastic. So if you're a president now, made in Ghana product, you have to make sure somebody conscientizing the people.
Not to cut you off, but one of the funniest scenes I see in my life is when I see our respected learned men and women, the judges. No, in a blonde wigs.
Meanwhile, UK for you. What kind of people are we? But you see, it goes ahead to tell us the mental fiber.
The colonial thing that you've been talking about.
The colonial mindset. Anything white is good, anything black is not good. We cannot continue to do our things that way. For one, president, any leaders should replicate. And I know Kufoba you obey BBS friend Friday way. I think we should do Monday to Friday way. We cannot continue to live in a country where we will continue to contribute to the economy of Europe through the buying of suits. Giorgio Armani. Why Armani? Why Armani? And so you me anomote hey GTP. GTP for producing tade and toma. Intimi me nuanom pambi ma yenhye. We simply cannot continue like that. Make ahemfo. Look at BB, you see from BB GH Henke Snap. For over how many centuries? Oh, quite him fear be a yen anonymous for GH Henke Snap and Eba. GH Henke is in Europe na Paramount Distilleries a coffee free deba. And in return, we are contributing to the economy of Europe by having foreign taste. Instead, say about patronizing Gihok. Na Gihok et me a trend and tabemu. Now I employ Nkrofono. So one, the president should conscientize the people to enjoy made in Ghana product. So what we produce, we will buy it, and the money will stay here to develop our economy.
Show some love, man! It is getting so exciting, and I realize that if I don't ask you a little about your family and things like that, I just get so engrossed in this big picture. So let's come down to you personally. You know, are you married now?
My wife.
Well, I say.
Obedience to me so now.
Obedience to so. Now, I'm so.
We are mad do crowd and so now.
And who's the wife?
The day Mami Koko Frimbo.
Mami Koko
Frimbo, yeah.
Frimpong. Okay. Show so la for Mami Koko, man. And Michelle,
what's it?
Where do you guys meet?
Me took a call, baby, na Michelle no airport. Michelle na am so me check you. No so say. Let's me check you. I'm so any yeah check you on the. So right from the day na Michelle me cast me worry no nyini.
Really? So that was like a first day thing. Who na say?
Who na am me worry. Ye di nkomo kwa chire no say oye kuku awraba oton kuku. And for a woman to think say okay, ono nkoton wigs, enkokra wig ma enkofa bleaching cream na oba koton kuku, that means she has something deep.
Wow.
And in fact, when a new addition, no watching me.
Okay.
Send me in the near ding. Me coco, but me here be ankrata same monosono.
Also, but
And to be doing come question, I'm saying, we na SMO.
my target.
My target na no my checking.
Wow, it's more infusing.
You worry and check, dear.
And Chebia. Okay.
Now, worry and check.
Okay.
Mami woma.
Woma. And I say,
Oh,
actually,
sounds like you walk on a dirty path and certainly there will be dust on you. Ye nyina ye ba na chinchin in the door so nti e den a yokura handbags we e den na buy.
It handbags na wo.
Oh,
mienu. Oh, okay. Now no.
So and I'm kwamu ba.
And I'm kwamu ba. Shishi.
Edem. Is that me tutu e Kumabua Street.
You're very exciting, you know. And when I listen to your radio program, do you have any problems with leadership, with government? Anybody gets uncomfortable? Establishment gets uncomfortable with the way you present things?
Oh, certainly. Say your system wa media for no amenakoye say instead of being the watchdogs, they become friends with the politician, and for that matter, they become guard dogs for the politician.
Say that again.
Instead of being watchdogs for the people, they have now become too comfortable with the politicians, so they become guard dogs for the politicians.
Okay.
For the leadership. In 2016, I campaigned vehemently for Nana Akufo-Addo. I was on campaign. In fact, they used my face and my voice to do almost all their campaign adverts. And I told them that I'm campaigning for you not because me MPP needs here. Yes, me MPP need. The masses are calling for change. And I'm the man of the masses. So this time around, I'm going to help the masses for us to take power away from John Mahama and give it to you. But mind you, mobana mo anya di nkrofo ne pe na mo betena nkrofo ne konso to do exactly the same thing which we've seen for 28 years. I will turn my guns on you. They thought I was joking. And now for the past 3.5 years, getting to 4 years, I have kept to my word. Whenever they go wayward, I don't spare them at all. And also, I know Komua. Say, you mean you are no MPP more. So they get angry. No, I say, now we cry there somewhere. You buy ya we need ye in China. Then people say, and I said, but are you kidding? Say me too, I am here Santini Bema. Many ate. Minimunyan sapa. The Peace Council. So, say me person me some will be edidi one. Then na meko ni opposition ko ya damfo na aban no otisika so no make cassette no am I that
doesn't make sense.
I'm not dumb. But we should do away with this thing about politicians believing that everybody gets into journalism simply because opese onya bibi edi.
Show some love, man. Show some love. That's deep. Yeah. That's deep.
We should keep on the aya na ha dwen kakra. To da me ametimi gina hwehwe me na mabusa say agwa we will survive it. But what keeps me going is that
but you have other businesses as well. You're a businessman.
Wadaoma. They were a barbering shop, an exclusive men grooming center.
Oh, they should be coming there.
I'm a patch of brand new.
No,
Mubuso. You knew when I be fine.
So,
you for a himfie.
Okay. So tell me at Hifel grooming.
I do construction as well.
Yeah.
High Sport Solutions, Mayor Innovations Construction, any property management. And also Chino, Mewefu, Krabwa Kota. I have said this thing over and over. You can't tell the people what to do when you yourself are not doing it.
Yeah.
And to me, account.
Yeah. No, it's so unfortunate that time we have to end here, but trust me, I respect you. Have a lot of respect for people like you who are dedicating themselves to conscientizing this country, man. And I like your answer you gave me, that you have not come here to change the whole country overnight, but one at a time. If you can change 5 people and the 5 people to change other 5 people, the multiplier effect will keep growing. And one day, one of the people will do something in the right direction. Yamisha, it's been a pleasure hosting you, man. And I'm asking myself, what took me so long? But I think you came at the right time.
May 2009, I dreamt of being on KSM show.
2009.
Yes, and 11 years down, I am on KSM show. And my friend me offer. In fact, na me mama di ka to me nkra say me se me pese me yesini. Say ja Shanghai de oya we. Dem wo kan kire me say ma che wo TV na chidodo. Me nya na me mbra ni mo. Na mama akoso abno wa utie mi a TV no ma ba ni mo. My friend me offer say I'm going on the KSM show. Me offer say wonya wie sa show no pe. Paka oniema na bra bomfa. Na me say ade. O say niema wi ase wo hia pa ye niema tu. Ida say ba KSM show so na ba graphic ni mo nya ba mbia na wa wi abra bomfa. Ebi o wi abra bomfa. Me ko bomfa.
I feel that started. Just me. I feel you akoja no. Show some love, man. Oh man, I have so much fun, and thank you very, very much for joining us today. And this has been an exciting interview for me. And I've been talking to some of the older folk, my generation. We have come down to the people who come just before my generation, and I've come even further down to the generation that's happening now. And next week I may get another young, dynamic guy also here to talk to us. But in the meantime, in between time, one more time for Okatakyie Mensah. And let me now say I thank all of you who have been tuning in, and to everybody who has been staying with us. But today, for now, do you know how I sign off? I am out of here.